All right, so just starting in a comfortable, or just starting in a child's pose. Taking your knees out wide, back towards your heels, and then go ahead and stretch your arms forward and start to lengthen your breath. So today's class, just kind of the Ashtanga Primary Series. So just how it starts out, we're going to do our own little warm-up and then move through a few rounds of Sun Salutation A's, Sun Salutation B's to really kind of warm up and stretch the whole body. And we'll be moving through them fairly quickly. And then we're going to pause and we're going to go through a set of standing poses, a set of seated poses with optional vinyasas in between. And then we'll finish with some poses lying down on our back, all in 1 hour. So using these few moments before we start in a child's pose to kind of just start to really turn inward. Kind of let go of anything that's weighing on your mind and just start to really be present. Using your breath as a tool to relax your body, to calm your mind. If your mind starts to wander, just using your breath, just gently bring it back to the present. Taking those long, deep inhales and exhales through your nose. Taking the exhales the same length as your inhales. And whenever you're ready, you're just going to come up onto your fingertips, lifting your head and your chest up, drawing the shoulder blades back a little bit more, and then walking your hands back. From here, we're going to come onto our hands and knees and just do a few rounds of cat-cow pose, moving at your own pace, with your own breath, your own flow. On your inhales, you're dropping your belly, looking up through cow pose, and then on your exhales, rounding everything, kind of really exaggerating the movements, rounding your back, rounding your spine to the chest. One more round of cat-cow. And then you can make your way into a downward facing dog. Spreading out the fingers, really grounding through the hands to protect the wrists, lifting the hips up and back, and just using this first downward dog to just stretch it out. Kind of check in with how your body's feeling, maybe heel toeing your feet. It takes a little bit longer in the morning to wake your body up. Maybe bending your knees a lot or coming up onto the toes, just kind of moving around. And then from here, you can walk your feet up to your hands, coming to a ragdoll forward fold to start with. So having a nice bend in your knees, relaxing the head and neck, relaxing the shoulders, lifting up through the hips. From here, we'll come to a half lift, drawing the shoulder blades back and away from your ears. And then on an exhale, fold forward deeper, this time micro bend in the knees. Next inhale, reach your arms up to come all the way up, lengthen through your spine, extended mountain pose. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart center. And then we're just going to pause here and take a moment to set an intention for class before we start, or just remind yourself something you're grateful for, something positive. All right, from here, we're going to step towards the front of our mat, and we're going to start with our Sun Salutation A's. So moving with your breath, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward, hinging from your hips. Inhale, half lift. Exhale to bend your knees, plant your hands, making your way to a plank, just nice and easy to start with. And then lowering down, maybe this time all the way to your stomach. Chaturanga, drawing the shoulders back, lift up the head, neck, and chest for a cobra pose. Exhale, make your way back down and through to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, about 5 deep breaths, using this pose as reset pose, or always an option to come to a child's pose instead if you feel your body needs that a little bit more. But we'll be here for 1, 3, 4, and 5. Bend your knees, look up to your hands, and then step your feet up to your hands, coming into a half lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, lengthen through your arms, reach all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. We're going to do the same thing again. Inhale, reach. Fold, really trying to move with your breath. Half lift. Inhale. Exhale to bend your knees, plant your hands, so maybe step or hop back to a plank. Lowering down, chaturanga, elbows hug the ribs, maybe upward facing dog this time. Only touch the hands and the feet on the mat, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, coming into a downward facing dog. Settling in here, a 5 deep breaths. Be here for 1, 2. Exhaling your head and neck, your chins towards your chest. 4, and 5. Bend the knees, look up to the hands. Step or maybe a light hop, drawing the shoulders apart, bringing the feet up to the hands, half lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Next, inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We're going to go through 1 more round, same thing, but without me talking, just moving with your own flow. All right, very good. So from here, we're going to start with 2 rounds of Sun Salutation B, starting in chair pose. So bending the knees, sit back, tuck the tailbone, reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Moving through a vinyasa, coming to a half lift. In the hands, making your way back to chaturanga. Feet into down dog, and then a 3-legged down dog. Reach the right leg up, flex the foot, heels up towards the sky, and then bring that right foot through between your hands. Spin that back heel down at the same time. Make your way up to warrior 1. Just 1 deep breath here. Inhale. And exhale, we're going to cartwheel our hands down, lifting the back heel up, making our way through to the other side. Going through a vinyasa. Into down dog, and then back to a 3-legged down dog. Left leg reaches up, heels towards the sky, stretch it out, and then bring that foot through. Then the back heel down. One to the front, warrior 1. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down, going through that vinyasa again. Coming into downward facing dog, settling in here, 5, Deep breaths. There are always option to take that child's pose. Be here for one. The feet are about hips distance apart. Slight external rotation of the shoulders that you just kind of feel energetically. 3, 4, and 5. Bend the knees, look up to the hands. Bring the feet up to the hands, coming into a half lift. Fold forward. And then we're going to finish in chair pose. So sitting back, bending the knees, reach the arms up. And then exhale, come all the way up to standing. All right, last one. We're going to start in chair pose, reach up. So fold forward. Lift. The knees plant. The hands coming to a plank. Lowering down chaturanga. Drawing the shoulders back as you come into upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3-legged down dog again. That right leg up nice and high. Bring that foot through. Spin the back heel down. Arms come up. Warrior 1. Cartwheel the hands down again. Making our way through Vinyasa to the other side. Left leg reaches up this time. Stretch it out. Bring that foot through, spin the back heel down. Making your way back up. Good. Cartwheeling the hands down. We'll go through Vinyasa, knee and downward facing dog. Settling in. And we're facing dog. 5 deep breaths. For 1, 2, 3, and 5. Bend the knees, look up to the hands, feet to hands. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, and then sit back, finishing in chair pose, bending the knees, reach up. Good, and then coming all the way up to standing. All right, very good. So that's our warm up. Maybe take a quick drink of water. We'll pause here, and then we're going to get into our standing poses. All right, whenever you're ready, we're going to come right into the standing poses, starting with standing forward fold. So taking the peace fingers, we're going to hinge from our hips. Feet are close together, hips distance apart. Take those peace fingers around your big toes for leverage. If you can easily touch them, if not, they can stay on the ankles or the shins. Draw the shoulders back, lift the chest up, and then exhale, fold forward deeper, lifting up through the hips. Coming back to your breath. Come out to the side. Try to bring your body weight a little bit forward so you're not sitting back on the heels. Here, keep your hands down on the ground. Inhale, draw the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, we're going to fold forward deeper. So reach up, lift that foot up. Press your hand under the foot all the way up to the wrist. And then the other hand goes underneath, bending your knees as much as you need to. Your stomach should be on your upper thighs, working towards straightening. More deep breath. Good, and then from here, you can go ahead and release your hands. Take your hands to your hips, little bend in the knees, come all the way up. Very good. All right, we're gonna step to the front of the mat, and we're gonna take a big step out with our right foot. So we're gonna come into star pose. You're stepping along the long edge of your mat. Turn to face the back of your mat, so you won't be able to see me right now. So your right foot turns to face the back foot turns in 45 degrees. We're coming to triangle pose. So you're gonna reach forward, reaching towards your right hand, reach, legs are straight. Bottom fingers can come down to the shin, down to the mat, but you want a straight line between those arms. Pressing into the bottom hip, spinning that top hip open. Breath. On your next inhale, you're going to make your way up through to the center, back through to star pose, opening up the arms and the chest. Turn to face the front. So left foot faces forward, back foot comes in 45 degrees, arms out long. Reach forward. Bring fingertips down to the mat or your shins, opening up through that top arm. Lifting up through your core, so you're not dumping your weight on the bottom fingers or the bottom hand. Inhaling in. And from here, come back up through to the center. Star pose again. Take your hands to your hips. We're going to turn to face the back of the mat. This time, revolve triangle. So hips square towards the back. You're going to take the right hip back, left hip forward. Reach your left arm forward, and you're going to reach, bringing it across your body. So you want to see if you can get the fingertips to the pinky edge side of the foot, but if not, you can put them on the inside of that foot. Right hand to right shoulder, spin that shoulder up towards the ceiling. You're twisting the center line of your body. Keep twisting. Neck and ribs are pushing up and away from the upper thighs. Good, and the next inhale, make your way all the way back up through to the center, star pose. We're going to take our hands to our hips, set up for the other side. So left hip back, right hip forward. Reach that right arm across your body. We're kind of going across at the diagonal. Reach as you come forward. The fingertips can come on the inside, or if possible, try to get it to the outside. We have a block here or something. So you can take the left hand to the left shoulder, twisting through the center line of your body. Keep twisting, and then reach that arm up. Up. On your next inhale, come back up through to the center, star pose. Your hands to your hips, and then we'll turn to face or step towards the front of our mat again. Good. From here, we're going to take a big step out with our right foot again, this time stepping out a little bit wider. Turn to face the back of your mat. We're setting up into warrior two. Set up. Knees bent, back foot's in 45 degrees. We're going to come to extended side angle pose. So you're going to reach forward. Level one, bringing the forearm just above the knee. Left arm reaches up. Left arm reaches forward. So if you want to go a little bit deeper, you would take the fingertips all the way down to the inside of the foot. But if you're already feeling a good stretch with just the forearm above the knee, you can just stay here. Then on your next inhale, come back up through to the center, star pose. We're going to turn to set up, so warrior two on the other side. Left knee is bent, right foot's turned in 45 degrees. Start to reach forward, or maybe starts above the knee. Yeah. That right shoulder and the right bicep towards the ear, reaching forward. Either staying here, just focusing on this pose, or you can go deeper by bringing the fingertips, lowering the fingertips down. Just coming back to your breath. Next, inhale, make your way all the way up again. Star pose. Reach the arms out, hands come to the hips, and then take a big step towards the front of your mat just to reset. Next standing pose is going to be a wide-legged forward fold. So big step out with your right foot again. Arms reach out long. You want your feet to be as wide as your fingertips. And then you can take your hands, interlace them behind your back. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. We'll just pause here, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. Next exhale, we're going to fold forward with our hands interlaced. So allowing the arms and the shoulder to lift up off of your lower back. Up through the hips, trying to get deeper. Bringing our body weight forward a little bit. Here, you can keep your hands interlaced. We're going to hinge from our hips, slowly make our way all the way up. And then you can, arms out long, star pose. Bring your hands to your hips. We're going to do one more variation, so folding forward from here. From here. Option from here is to walk your hands underneath you. And take your peace fingers to your big toes as leverage. So just trying to get a little bit deeper into this wide-legged forward fold. Trying to lift up high through the hips. Goal is to kind of eventually maybe get your head down. Good. From here, you can release your hands. Walk your hands out in front of you, coming onto your fingertips. Half lift. From here, you can take your hands to your hips, come all the way up, and then we'll turn the step towards the front of the mat. Set. So one more standing pose. This is going to be pyramid pose. We're going to step out with the right foot about half the distance we've stepped out before, so it's a shorter stance. Turn to face the back of your mat. Line up heel to heel. So we're hands come to the hips, squaring the hips towards the back, right hip back, left hip forward. You can grab your elbows behind your back, or option to come to reverse prayer, the palms together. Here, we're going to lead with our chest to fold forward towards that right knee. Line out the toes. So you should feel the stretch in your hamstring, front hamstring. Forehead down towards that knee, elbows stay out wide. And then keeping your hands behind your back, you're going to lead with your chest to come all the way up. Come through to the center and just set up for the other side. So this time, left foot forward, right foot back. Line up, reline up, heel to heel so you're staggered. Left hip back, forward so you're squared to the front. And then you're going to fold forward, leading with your chest. And that stretch mostly the front hamstring. Coming back to your breath. And then from here, leading with your chest, hinging from your hips, make your way all the way up. And come through to the center, star pose, just shake the arms out. You can step forward. We're gonna pause here again. So maybe take a sip of water. And then, so we have left 2 balancing poses and then our warriors, and then we'll come down to the mat for some seated poses. Our first balancing pose is gonna be tree pose. Start on whichever leg you wanna start with, and then we'll just switch sides. So it's a tree, but an advanced option instead of tree is to come to a half lotus. So if you've done tree for a while and you think that's easy and you want to try the half lotus, you're going to bring the foot inside. Or you can just come to your normal tree. Start at heart center. Find something to focus your eyes on. Nice and tall, deep breaths. Whenever you're ready, you can reach up, opening up the tree. You can bring your hands back down to heart center. And then we'll just release and move to the other side. So hip turns out to the side, straight. Neck foot towards the upper thigh, or energetically pressing that upper thigh back to the foot. Reaching the arms up. Opening up. Good, and then you can bring your hands back together. And back down, release. Next one, more challenging, hand to big toe pose. So switching to the other side, hands come to the hips. Option 1, to just bend that knee in front of the leg and then open out. Option 2 is to take the peace fingers to the big toes. Start with this leg bent. But you want to work towards being able to straighten it without stretching your back forward too much. You want to keep that straight back. Straight standing leg. Focusing your gaze, and then when you're ready, open your hip out to the side. From here, we're going to bring that foot forward again, lift it up just a little bit higher, and then you're going to release it, pointing the toe, keeping it up as high as you can. And leg straight back for 5, 4, 3, 2, release. Good. So just shake it out, roll up the ankle a few times, and then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so up on the other side. Maybe starting out here and going to here. Even these fingers to the big toe. One side might be a little bit feel different. That's normal. Straight back. When you're ready, opening the hip out to the side. We'll bring that leg forward, lift it up just a little bit higher. We're going to release it, keeping up as high as you can. Point the toe, keep that leg super straight and engaged. Hold it there for 5, 4, 2, 1. Good. Release. Just going to shake it out, roll out the ankle. All right, very good. From here, we're going to come into chair pose. This time, we're going to hold it a little bit longer. So bending the knees, sitting back, the arms up, draw the shoulders back, deep breaths. From here, we're going to go through a vinyasa. So fold forward, half lift, inhale, exhale, fold forward again, bend the knee, plant the hands, coming to a plank, lowering down through to an up dog or cobra, and exhale, downward Dog. We're going to bring that right knee in towards our chest, right foot through between our hands, spin the back heel down. Setting up for warrior one, making sure the front heel's in the middle of the back foot. Knees over your ankle. We're going to hold this one. So at the beginning, we just kind of held it one breath. This one, we're holding longer. Hips square to the front, reaching those arms up. Staying through your torso. Passing through the pinky outside of your back toe. Keeping the arms up, we're going to straighten out front leg, turn to face the back of the mat. So bring that right foot in 45 degrees, left foot turns, warrior one on the other side. So squaring the hips again, left hip back, right hip forward, and then just settling in. We're opening up to warrior two, right hand comes out to the side. Relax the shoulders, torso just stays in the middle towards your left fingertips. And then from here, keeping the arms out long, come through to the center, and we're going to turn to face the other side. So just set up for warrior two on the other side, right knee bends, back foot comes in, 45 degrees. Energetically squeezing the inner thighs towards each other. Good, and then from here, we'll cartwheel the hands down, and we're going to go through a vinyasa, stepping the right foot back, moving through a chaturanga to an up dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. It's 2 or 3 breaths in this downward facing dog, just checking in how you feel now compared to the beginning of class. From here, we're going to step or hop the feet in the center, crossing at the ankles, and then coming to a seat. And we're going to set up for our seated series, our seated poses. We'll start out with our feet in front of us. We're just setting up for stack pose. So flexing those feet, stacking the spine, so sitting up nice and tall, and then your hands are going to be right by your side. From here, we'll inhale to reach our arms up, lengthen through your spine. With those feet flexed, we're going to hinge forward. Take your peace fingers. You're reaching towards your big toes if possible. If not, your hands can reach the ankles. Draw the shoulders back, fold forward. So initiating the stretch from the hips to get further. Breaths. Here, draw the shoulders back, lift your head and chest up. You're going to reach those arms forward, and we're going to try to go a little bit further. So exhale, reach, reach, reach. Seeing if you can reach a little bit further than before. Settling in for 5 more deep breaths. Inhale, draw your shoulders back, lift your head and chest up. Exhale, come up the whole way. We're setting up for reverse plank, so point the toes, hands behind you, elbows straight back. We're going to lift our hips up, working towards pressing the tops of the feet into the mat. Allow your head to drop back, shoulder blades come together a little bit in the front. Keep the hips up high. And then slowly lower down, optional vinyasa. So if you're between each of the seated pose, optional vinyasa, crossing up the ankles, you're going to come forward. You want to round your shoulders. So you're lifting up through the shoulder blades, stepping or jumping back to a plank. So it can be a step, or a jump back, flow going through a vinyasa. And this is optional between each of the seated poses to kind of keep yourself moving. And then one breath in down dog, hopping or stepping your feet through to the center, coming back to a seat. With our left leg forward, right foot towards your inner thigh. The foot that's out long. Inhale, reach your arms up, squaring your hips to that leg that's out long. And then exhale, hinge from your hips to fold forward. Coming back to your breath. And then on an inhale, draw your shoulders back, lift your head and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way. Switch sides. So opposite leg's going to go out long, other foot towards your inner thigh. Flex that foot, square the hips. Inhale through your spine. Exhale, reach forward. And on the other side. Good, and then next inhale, draw your shoulders back, lift your head and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way. So optional vinyasa. I have a dog here, but hopefully he'll be just fine. So optional vinyasa here, crossing up the ankles, coming forward, lowering down through to an up dog or cobra, and downward facing dog. Just one breath in down dog, and then we'll bring the feet through to the center. All right. This time we're going to take the knee and we're going to bend it back. Both sit bones are down if possible, heels in towards you, and your hips are internally rotated. Flex that foot, inhale, reach up, exhale, forward. Next, inhale, draw your shoulders back, lift up your head and chest. Exhale, come up the whole way. We're just going to switch legs. The opposite leg comes forward, bend the other knee back. Hips rotate in towards each other. Flex the foot that's out long. Both sit bones on the mat. Reach up, inhale, exhale, forward. To draw your shoulders back, lift your head and chest up, exhale. Other leg, optional vinyasa in between. One breath in down dog if you're doing the vinyasa. Good, and then coming back to a seat. All right, take your left leg out long. You're going to bend that right knee in towards you about a hand's distance between the foot and the leg. You're going to bring your arm inside that knee. So you're hugging that knee in towards you. Arm comes inside. You want to reach forward so that shoulder is in front of the knee if possible. Flex that foot. And you're going to bend that elbow back. Other hand is going to come behind you. Fingertips are reaching for each other. That right hip might lift up a little bit off of the mat. That's what it's supposed to do. Keep folding forward towards that front knee. And you can go ahead and sit that hip down, untwist your arms, and we're going to switch sides. So opposite leg comes forward, other foot comes in towards you, about a hand's distance between the foot and the leg. Comes inside that knee as you reach forward, trying to get that shoulder in front of the knee. Keep bringing that knee in towards you, and then bend the elbow back around that knee. Other hand comes behind you. The foot that's out long as you fold forward. And then you can sit that left hip bone down, release your arms, come out, maybe just straighten up the legs, and then optional vinyasa. If you want to do the vinyasa, you can just take a drink of water, take a break, or maybe just some other stretch. All right, from here, we're going to do seated twist. Left leg comes out long. Bring that right foot over top. You can keep that left leg out long or bend the knee back. So either way is fine. You're still getting the same twist, just whichever one's more comfortable. You're going to sit up nice and tall. Reach your left arm up. So it's going to be opposite hand to opposite knee. Inhale, exhale, elbow above the knee, looking over your shoulder. So each inhale, think to lift and lengthen through your spine. And then each exhale, try to twist a little bit more. Twisting through the upper body. Think of lifting your stomach up and over the upper thigh. Behind you. And come through to the center, and we're going to take a counter stretch, so just easy counter twist on the other side. We'll just set up for the other side. So opposite foot out long, cross the foot over. If you bent the knee in last time, bending it in this time is taking that same variation. And then remember, opposite arm, opposite leg. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, elbow to knee. Lengthen through your spine, looking over the shoulder. Come back through to the center, just taking an easy counter stretch on the other side. And then when you're ready, going through an optional vinyasa, or if you want, you can sit out. The vinyasa just kind of keeps your body moving, makes it more of a power yoga class. Just adding movement and strength between each of the poses. All right, so our next seated pose is going to be boat pose. So we're going to do 3 rounds plus a boat pose stretch. So your knees are going to be bent in front of you. You're going to draw the shoulder blades back. Just sit back, find that place you can balance. Reach the arms forward. Point the toes, and then you're going to hover the toes off the mat as level 1. Level 2, bend the knees, feet straight in front of you, chest towards your upper thigh. Level 3, work towards straightening the legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to come forward, crossing at your ankle. Bring your hands in front of you. We're just going to lift up. We're going to come straight into our second one without thinking about it. So just coming right into round 2. Through the arms, chest lifted. Point the toes for 5, 4, 3. Embrace the shakiness. And 1, crossing at the ankle, coming forward, rounding the shoulder blades, lifting up, and then coming right into the last one. So the key is coming right into it without thinking about it. Reach the arms forward, point the toes for 5, 4, And good. So coming forward, crossing at the ankle, lift up. We're going to sit back again, and we're just going to do kind of a variation that's more of a stretch than core work. So take your peace fingers to your big toes and bend the knees in towards each other, and we're going to work towards straightening the legs, drawing the shoulders back, lifting the chest. So this is really more of a stretch, like a stretch in your hamstring. It does take balance, and Tiffany has her hands behind her calves, which is another option too. So whichever way you can do it to start out with. One more deep breath here. And then optional vinyasa, crossing at the ankles, lifting up. When you come through, our next pose is going to be a seated butterfly pose. And your feet together, heels in towards you. So we're going to do two variations. First variation is going to be lengthening our spine. So draw the shoulders back, sit up nice and tall, and then you're going to hinge forward from your hips, trying to keep your chest lifted as you continue to come forward. 5 deep breaths. Here, you can round your back, rounding your shoulders, bringing your forehead down, maybe even your forearms down. Kind of go a little bit further. 5 more breaths. And then you can make your way all the way up. So optional last vinyasa. So either taking the last vinyasa or you can skip it. And then we'll come to our lying down poses. So from here, we're going to come to our closing series. So maybe taking one more drink of water and then coming onto your back. And we're going to start with bridge pose. Once you come onto your back, heels in towards you, press your palms into the mat, lift up, interlacing your hands behind your back, arms under your shoulders, chin up and away from your chest. And about 5 deep breaths. And then you can slowly lower down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Take your feet out wide, drop the knees side to side. We're going to do one more bridge pose, or you can do full wheel pose. So deciding which option you want to do. Bridge pose will be just the same thing. Wheel pose, a deeper back bend. So taking your hands underneath your shoulders, lifting onto your head and then onto your hands. So whichever one you want to practice right now, when you're ready, making your way into it. Lifting the chin up away from your chest. Opening up through the heart. Deep breath. Whenever you're ready, slowly making your way down. Hug your knees in towards your chest this time. And then we'll keep our right knee in towards our chest, left leg out long. Straighten that right leg coming to a hamstring stretch. So your right hand can be interlaced behind the thigh or behind the calf and the ankle, just gently pulling it down towards you. And then from here, bring your forehead up towards the knee to go a little bit deeper. And then you can bend that right knee back, come all the way back down. We'll just switch sides. So hugging the left knee in towards your chest, right leg is out long. Straightening the left leg, interlace your hands behind the thigh, the calf, and the ankle. Out with your head lying down comfortably. And then you can bring the forehead up towards the knee, going a little bit deeper. And bend the knee back into the chest, release. From here, we're going to come to fish pose. So fish pose variation. So coming onto your forearms behind your back, point the toes, legs straight in front of you. All right, a little bit of a back bend. From here, you're going to lift the hips up. Chest comes forward. Inhale, let's do that again. Lift the hips up a little bit higher, arch your back, and then allow your head to drop back, opening up your throat. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Lifting through the stomach, through the hips. And slowly lower back down, just moving the arms out of the way, coming all the way onto your back. From here, we're going to come to shoulder stand or waterfall pose. Have a lot of space behind your head. You might want to scooch forward a little bit. First level, an option to stay here, is waterfall pose, which is just straight up. Your back's lying down, just a nice inversion. If you want to come up onto your shoulders, bend the knees, press the palms into your mat. You're going to roll all the way up onto your shoulders, taking your hands behind your lower back. Elbows kind of squeeze in towards each other. Parallel. Chin is on your chest. Up towards your feet. So not looking side to side. You don't want to strain your neck. From here, you can lower the feet behind the head, coming into plow pose, or if you prefer, just coming into a happy baby pose. In plow pose, you want to interlace your hands behind your back this time so that you're on your arms and the top of your head, so you're on your shoulders and the top of your head, not on your neck. You're going to bend your knees, use your palms to lower down, nice, and then scoot yourself back towards the center of the mat. We're just going to stretch the feet out long, reach the arms up overhead. So just taking a nice long stretch from the fingertips all the way through to the feet. And then you're going to make your way into Shavasana, so our final pose. Allowing your back to lie flat, maybe your feet to open up normally out to the side. Palms up. And just kind of scanning your body. And if you have tension anywhere in your body, and consciously trying to release, relax, and let go into this pose. Going into a normal breath. These last few moments, nothing you have to do, nothing you have to think about. And take a nice deep inhale in through your nose. Complete exhale. Start to roll out your ankles, roll out your wrists a few times. And then you can bend your knees, reach your arms up overhead. Onto your side. And then taking your time when you're ready, making your way all the way up to a seat. And we'll finish by bringing our hands to our heart center. Take a nice deep inhale. Reach your arms out and up. Exhale to press the palms together, bringing your hands back down. Just take a moment to feel a sense of peacefulness, of gratitude. Thank yourself for waking up early on Saturday to do this practice and allowing the positive energy that you feel to be a benefit to yourself and the people around you throughout the day. Namaste.